it would be a good time to read some fun 4th of July facts to spark your red, white, and blue spirit. As I go through these facts, I'll be doing a combination of whispering and also some soft speaking. So with that, sit back, relax, and let's get started. Independence Day was once celebrated on July 5th. The holiday fell on a Sunday in 1779, so Americans celebrated on Monday, the 5th of July. 3 U.S. presidents have died on the 4th of July. James Monroe, John Adams, and Thomas Jefferson all died on the Patriotic Day. Adams and Jefferson both passed in 1826, and Monroe passed 5 years later in 1831. There are some copies of the Declaration of Independence with a woman's signature on it. Mary Catherine Goddard wasn't one of the official signers in 1776, but the printer and publisher added her name to the Declaration of Independence after she was hired by Congress to print copies. The 50th star was added to the American flag on July 4th, 1960. It symbolized Hawaii's admission as the U.S.'s 50th state. John Adams thought Independence Day should be celebrated on July 2nd. He had a point, given that the Continental Congress did declare its freedom from Great Britain on July 2nd, 1776. However, an official document explaining this move to the public wasn't published until 2 days later, on July 4th, 1776. Americans consume a lot of hot dogs on July 4th, about 150 million to be exact. Yes, you heard that right. According to the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council, Los Angeles residents alone consume about 30 million pounds of hot dogs on July 4th. It's safe to say they're a holiday favorite. The Nathan's famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest began over a century ago. According to the company itself, the first unofficial contest took place on July 4th, 1916. The contest, which began with 4 immigrants competing to determine who was the most patriotic, ended up becoming one of the most widely known 4th of July traditions in America. Despite what you might have thought, only 2 men signed the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776. You can thank John Hancock and Charles Thompson for this one. The rest of the delegates signed within the weeks that followed. There are approximately 16,000 Independence Day firework displays that take place each year. America's 4th of July tradition is a bit of a loud one, but iconic nonetheless. According to History.com, the custom dates back to 1777. When we look at the costs, Americans spend over $1 billion on fireworks every 4th of July. July 4th wasn't an official holiday until almost 100 years after the Declaration of Independence was signed. It wasn't common to celebrate this patriotic event for the first few decades of America's independence. When it was established as an official holiday in 1870, it became one of the most popular non-religious celebrations in the United States. There were only about 2.5 million people living in the United States in 1776. The national anthem wasn't the Star-Spangled Banner until 1931. It took 117 years for the words written in 1814 by Francis Key Scott to gain federal recognition. Now it is easily one of the most famous songs in the country. The One World Trade Center in New York was designed to be 1,776 feet tall. One of the most spectacular features of the building is its height, which represents the year America declared independence from Great Britain. The Liberty Bell hasn't been rung since 1846. Every year on July 4th, children who are descendants of the Declaration signers tap the Liberty Bell 13 times. It's a sentimental tradition to help honor the original 13 colonies. The last time the bell rang was on Washington's birthday in February 1846, when a major crack appeared on the bell. The first newspaper to print the Declaration of Independence was the Pennsylvania Evening Post. They didn't waste any time either. The Declaration was published in the paper's Saturday issue on July 6, 1776. It was soon published in other newspapers throughout the colonies, and there was even a German translation of it printed in the Pennsylvanischer Staatspost, which was a newspaper that catered to Pennsylvania's large German population. George Washington celebrated the 4th of July in 1778, even though he was at war. On July 4th, 1778, George Washington treated U.S. soldiers to a double ration of rum and a cannon salute. It was once considered disrespectful to keep your business open on the 4th of July. Before the Civil War, people who kept their businesses open during the holiday were deemed unpatriotic. However, it became more acceptable after the war when store owners started holding patriotic 4th of July sales. It's a tradition in New England to eat salmon on the 4th of July. Eating salmon and peas on Independence Day is a New England practice that dates back centuries. Many swear by the recipe and have made it a staple for the American holiday. There are some other countries that celebrate America's independence on the 4th of July. Countries like Denmark, England, Norway, Portugal, and Sweden all take part in hosting commemorations for the holiday. This is in part to honor their many citizens who emigrated to the U.S. There is one U.S. president who was born on the 4th of July. America's 30th president, Calvin Coolidge, was born on July 4th, 1872. A time capsule was buried by Paul Revere and Sam Adams. On July 4th, 1795, the two men placed the capsule under the Massachusetts State House in Boston. It was discovered workers fixing a leak. When state officials opened it, they discovered a pine tree shilling coin, a copper medal engraved with an image of George Washington, several newspapers, and a silver plate thought to be engraved by Paul Revere. There are 31 towns in the U.S. that contain the word liberty. The largest town is Liberty, Missouri, with a population of 32,865. Massachusetts became the first state to make the 4th of July an official state holiday in 1781. The famed Macy's fireworks show in New York City uses more than 75,000 fireworks shells and costs about $6 million. As of 2016, July 4th was the #1 holiday for beer sales in the U.S. Small towns in the U.S. typically spend between $8,000 and $15,000 on their firework displays. About 16,000 July 4th firework displays happen around the country each year. Starting in 1818, new stars and stripes were added to the American flag each July 4th to make the creation of new states. John Hancock has the largest signature of the Declaration of Independence. The shortest 4th of July parade is in Aptos, California. The 4th of July parade in Aptos, California is just a hair over half a mile long, taking up 2 city blocks and measuring just 0.6 miles. This brief bit of patriotism features antique cars, decorated trucks, and plenty of walkers. Afterward, there's a party in the park where folks can enjoy live music, food, and games. Americans spend billions on food to celebrate the 4th of July. For 2022, the National Retail Federation predicts Americans will spend around $7.7 billion on tasty treats to celebrate the 4th of July. This includes food and other cookout expenses, averaging out about $84 per person participating in a barbecue, outdoor cookout, or a picnic. The very first 4th of July fireworks show took place in Philadelphia in 1777. Fireworks, cannons, and bells all went off to honor the 13 original states. Just like modern celebrations, they even had a dinner and parade for the Declaration of Independence's first anniversary. The Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were both signed in Philadelphia. The Constitution was signed in September of 1787, a little over 11 years after the Declaration of Independence. While both are important to U.S. history, they are totally separate documents with different meanings. Thomas Jefferson believed that a new constitution should be written every 19 years. In a letter to James Madison, he asked if one generation of men has the right to bind another, saying that otherwise the lands would belong to the dead and not the living, which would be the reverse of our principle. The largest fireworks display takes place in New York City. On Independence Day, there are thousands of public firework displays across the country, but the largest one is sponsored by Macy's in New York City. Plenty of other cities host large-scale fireworks shows too, such as Boston, Houston, Nashville, and Washington, D.C. Seward, Nebraska was dubbed America's official 4th of July city small-town USA by Congress. Congress made the resolution because Seward has hosted 4th of July celebrations in its town square since 1868. More than 40,000 people attend the festivities, which is remarkable because only 6,000 people reside in Seward. So that is all for today and our 4th of July facts. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Thank you so much